Kay Menon and Madhavan starrer, the Railway Men on Netflix, has brought back the horrifying memories of 1984 Bhopal Gas Tragedy. It reminds us of the time how politicians and the ruling party at centre covered up the deaths of 15,000 people in Bhopal who were left to die out of sheer greed of people in power then, and how the Rajiv Gandhi government let Union Carbide CEO Warren Anderson escape without being punished for his crimes. And while Anderson's escape will forever keep the wounds of Bhopal gas tragedy victims unhealed, another aspect of the Netflix series on the role of Indian Railways was never talked about till now. How the Bhopal Junction and other railway staffers saved thousands of lives when the Rajiv Gandhi government had left them all to die. Ghulam Dastagir was the deputy station master at Bhopal Junction. It was just luck and unfinished work which kept him at the station after his shift got over. But when he stepped out of his office, he felt a burning sensation in his eyes. Dastagir knew something was wrong. He rushed inside to find the station superintendent Harish Dhurve had already choked to death due to the toxic gas. Dhurve, along with the porter, had run to let an express train pass through without stopping at Bhopal, which was engulfed in the poisonous gas, and inhaled the gas and died. At around the same time, Mumbai-Gorakhpur Express was about to reach Bhopal Junction. Thousands of people are just chugging their way to imminent death. Seniors were informed, but then at the center under the Rajiv Gandhi government, you have a chain of command to follow. But then some still choose humanity over bureaucracy. An available track was cleared off for departure and the train was made to depart earlier than its scheduled time. Dastagir reached out to nearby stations with desperate calls for help. The fictionalized version of that night shows how attempts were made to stop the antidote of the poison from reaching victims, which could have saved so many lives. How the ministry had just given up and said that it was too risky to send relief and rescue when the city was filled with poisonous gas. But even then, the nearby railway stations braved the poison and saved lives. We do not give the Indian Railways enough credit for being an indispensable part of our lives. And one cannot help but compare how the Rajiv Gandhi government let people of Bhopal-Do die when there was the gas leak, and how the Modi government scaled up infrastructure at war footing when the COVID-19 pandemic hit the world. No one was prepared for a pandemic and no one knew how long it would last. The air was once again filled with poison and so many people lost their lives. But Indian Railways once again came through. From running special trains to get the migrant workers home to carrying oxygen cylinders across the country to save lives, Indian Railways men have been the unsung heroes. But that is not all. We all are aware how the Rajiv Gandhi government let the American CEO of Union Carbide, Warren Anderson, get away without paying for his crimes. Do you know that Anderson was allegedly bailed out in exchange for Rajiv Gandhi's childhood friend and son of Muhammad Yunus, Adil Shahryar? So the story begins on the night of December 3rd, 1984, when thousands of people died in their sleep, when they were exposed to methyl isocyanate, an extremely toxic gas. The gas leaked from the Union Carbide Plant in Madhya Pradesh, Bhopal. Over 5 lakh people were exposed to the poisonous gas. The CEO of Union Carbide Corporation at that time was Warren Anderson, who was accused of being guilty of slack maintenance in the plant, which eventually led to the disaster. As many as 8 former plant employees were convicted in June 2010. However, by then the court had declared Anderson an accused and an absconder. Anderson had visited Bhopal 4 days after the tragedy on 7th of December 1984 and was arrested. However, Anderson later got bail and flew away to the US. At that time, Congress leader Arjun Singh was the Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, while Rajiv Gandhi was the Prime Minister. There are some reports which state that America built significant pressure on Rajiv Gandhi to release Anderson. In fact, some CIA documents have reported that it was Rajiv Gandhi who issued orders to release Anderson. In this whole scenario, another link that comes to our mind is that of Adil Shahryar, a childhood friend of Rajiv Gandhi and the son of Nehru and Indira Gandhi's close aide Muhammad Yunus. Some documents suggest that Rajiv Gandhi allowed Anderson to flee in exchange for Adil, who was serving a 35-year sentence in the US and was guilty on 5 counts including felony and fraud. Soon after Anderson returned to the US, the then US President Ronald Reagan issued Shahryar a presidential pardon and he soon returned to India. Many Bhopal gas tragedy victims see this as betrayal by the Rajiv Gandhi-led government. This issue was also raised in the parliament on August 12, 2015 by the late Union Minister Sushma Swaraj.
यूनियन कार्बाइड की कंपनी से रात को जहरीली गैस का रिसाव हुआ। 15,000 लोग मर गए। कितने? 15,000 लोग। 4 दिन बाद एंडरसन वहां आए। मुख्यमंत्री अर्जुन सिंह ने उनको अरेस्ट के वारंट दे दिए। राजीव गांधी तभी चुनाव के लिए वहां पहुंचे। उनसे पूछा, आपने अरेस्ट क्यों कर लिया एंडरसन को? मुख्यमंत्री ने कहा कि इस देश की जनता ने, प्रदेश की जनता ने मुझ पर कोई जिम्मेदारी सौंपी है, इसके लिए मैंने अरेस्ट किया।
Later, when Adil Shahryar was released from US prison in 1985 and in 1990, he wrote in the alumni book of his alma mater, American International School, for a planned reunion that he established an institute named Priyadarshini Institute and that his company was worth rupees $250 million. Interestingly, Indira Gandhi's full maiden name was Indira Priyadarshini Nehru. How did that happen even before economic liberalization in India in 1991? Shahryar had applied for insolvency in the US in 1982. So from being an insolvent in jail for fraud, he established an institute worth $250 million in 5 years. And he also got a presidential pardon in the meantime. Actually, being friends with people in powerful places could actually do wonders, it seems.